announced a state of play. Death Stranding's getting its own special event, and Stellar Blade is getting stellar sales. And Greg Miller's cashing in Stars in the Bank on my dumbass. Banana. We'll have all this and more because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. I hate him.
Yeah.
I just hate him.
He does that.
He does stuff. Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. Of course, I'm your host, Tim Geddes. I am joined today by the new face of video games, Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Tim.
Good day to you as well. State of Play Eve. Always a fun time. Predictions will flow. We will discuss things. Maybe we're right. Maybe we're wrong. But no matter what, we're going to have a good time tomorrow.
We're going to have a good time tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think, and we'll talk about it when we get to the story, but I know I'm going to have a good time because my expectations, rock bottom.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't expect anything.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of, we'll get into
Maybe
it in
a
the
little
story.
peek of Gosyote, but even that, I'm like, that seems like too much. I don't know. Anything right now.
No, that seems.
It's February.
We'll get into it. We'll get it.
It's
hey,
February.
If y'all have any predictions, please super chat them in and we will judge them. We will decide, do we think they will happen, won't happen? Do we think that they're stuff we want to happen or not? So please super chat all of your predictions in and we'll get to those throughout this show because, of course, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through all the video game news that you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, please support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, and now Spotify and Apple Podcasts. To get all of our shows ad-free, you can watch live as we record them, and you get a daily exclusive Greg Way. For a chance to be part of this show, though, submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. Something that I want to bring up again is, in addition to the Kind of Funny membership being on Spotify and Apple Podcast, we now have video on Spotify as well, and so many of you have been watching our shows on Spotify, and we really, really, really appreciate it. Spotify actually reached out to me and was just like, yo, you guys are kind of crushing it right now on the video front. And I'm like, that's
big Spotify
cool.
Hit you up?
Yeah,
Big Spotify hit you
legitimately
up?
they did. It's pretty damn cool, guys.
Yo.
So thank you so much for showing all your support over there, making us feel like we matter. You know what I mean?
Big Spotify, if you're watching it or listening, hit me up. I want to make one of those playlists that get featured.
Yeah.
And I don't really have any credentials, but I just want to make a playlist that, gets put on some people's homepages. So hit me up. I'll make a playlist.
Hit him up, Big Spotify. Yeah, next time I talk to Mrs. Spotify, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'll let him know.
That's good.
Exactly. A little housekeeping for you, though. We are an 11-person business all about live talk shows. Today, after Games Daily, you are going to get Gamescast, which is Greg's South of Midnight preview. We're both on that. Paris as well. I'm incredibly excited to hear what they have to say about this game because this is one that is very high on my list.
Yeah, same.
So yeah,
Looking
we'll
forward
see.
to it.
That's right after this. Then after that, the stream will be Nick playing a little bit more of that Cine 2 Nerdle that he is hopelessly addicted
Just
to.
obsessed with.
It's crazy.
Is 2025 is the year of Nick being into Cine 2 Nerdle and me being into Magic.
Yeah.
and both of those
intending your puns.
And intending my
which
puns.
is my favorite thing you've said this year.
Listen, we're doing it, all right? And we're both fully into those things.
I love it, man. If you are a Kind of Funny member, you can get today's Greg Way, of course. And then tomorrow, because of this state of play, our schedule is going to be all out of whack, everybody. We're going to be starting the day an hour later than normal at 11 a.m. We're going to start with a very, 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 very special Kind of Funny Games cast that you're not going to want to miss. After that, we're going to do a stream for a bit, but then at 1:30, we're going to start our State of Play pre-show, of course, react to it, and then Games Daily will be our post-show, reacting to all the news that breaks from the State of Play. That makes sense to you?
That makes perfect sense.
That makes sense to y'all?
I'll be honest.
Fantastic.
Didn't hear a word you said.
Doesn't matter.
Because I got the Elden Ring Night Rain network test code that I'm putting in right now.
Oh my
I'm
God.
going to be testing the network in Elden Ring.
Exciting times ahead, everybody.
Cancel all my plans for the weekend. I know who I'm talking to. I guess I'm talking to my future self. Cancel all my plans for the weekend.
Thank you to our Patreon producers, Delaney Twining, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Karen Lindner. Today, we are brought to you by Rocket Money, Shady Rays, and BetterHelp, but we'll tell you all about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. 6 stories today.
A baker's dozen.
Story number 1, State of Play returns tomorrow, February 12th. This comes straight from the PlayStation blog. Like I was saying, please super chat in. What are your State of Play predictions? This comes straight from the blog. State of Play is back tomorrow, February 12th. Tune in live for news and updates on great games coming to PlayStation 5. The show celebrates a creative and unique selection of exciting games from studios around the world. The 40-plus minute show begins February 12th at 2 p.m. Pacific. See you tomorrow. Plus, what jumps out at you?
Well, first of all, I want to shout out the super chats that have already come in. I can't wait to talk about some of the ones, some of the things people are already predicting for tomorrow. Creative and unique. Oh man, this shit's about to be trash.
like what words to use when you're hyping up something? You know what I mean? Like it's definitely kind of telling. Now, here's the thing. This is how long we've been doing this together, Bless. I start thinking creative, unique. You start thinking about those like smaller indie titles, some of the things that are like a little bit more like out of left field. And there's that one game that just they kept showing and then they just stopped showing. And it's been so long I can't even remember what it is.
Oh, you're talking about Little Devil Inside.
I am talking about Little Devil Inside.
Little Devil Inside.
Is it time for Little Devil to reveal himself?
We're going to get 45 minutes of baby steps, Tim.
Okay, I wouldn't be mad about that.
No, and here's the thing, right? Again, I'm excited for the State of Play. And I use the word trash. I say that like
very
fully jokingly, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I do think, and I'm very fascinated to have this conversation of at like what levels of, I guess, AAA versus first party versus indie versus just the third party stuff do we expect? Because it being February, of course, I think we'll get peeks into some first party things this year, right? Like Ghost of Yote, we know is coming this year. I don't expect a release date for it, but
I kinda might though.
A release date for Ghost of Yote.
Here's the thing. Where are we at? Like, what did the last trailer end with? Did it have a 2025? Did it have a fall or a summer or a?
I think it was just 2025.
But did it even have that? Like that's the thing is like I wonder because like I do feel like I kind of expect that we'll see Ghost tomorrow, but I don't know what we get from it. Gameplay, yeah, okay, cool. Gameplay could be it. We don't need a release date, just gameplay.
Yeah,
I think we see something.
What
40+ minutes?
I'll give you. You know what? I'll give you a summer or fall.
Okay.
I think they narrowed down that window into summer or fall.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if I just think we need to get something new from the game. And I think that gameplay will satiate that in a way that we don't need the release date yet. You know?
Yeah.
But
outside of that, like when you think about first party, then it gets tough because there's not that much that we know about the future.
Well, we say that. But there is
gummy bears. You're right.
Well,
You're
Marathon, right? And freaking Concord 2.0 or whatever it was called.
Fair Games.
Fair Games. Yeah.
Well, you got Marathon, you got Fair Games, you got Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 2 we'll talk about because that is story number 2, but you're based off of story number 2, you're not getting big Death Stranding stuff here.
Well,
you can bring in story number 2 right now if you want to. You're not getting Death Stranding stuff tomorrow.
Let me read story number 2
Go
here.
for it.
PlayStation presents Death Stranding 2 on the Beach special panel will take place at South by Southwest 2025. Kojima Productions, in collaboration with PlayStation, will host a Death Stranding 2 on the Beach special panel at South by in Austin, Texas on March 9th. At the special panel, Hideo Kojima will discuss and share new details about Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, the upcoming sequel to Death Stranding 1, arriving exclusively on PlayStation 5 later this year. Tune into the live stream, details to be confirmed soon. Kojima Productions will also host an exclusive pop-up shop at South by Southwest, which will feature the latest Death Stranding 2 on the Beach merchandise, as well as exclusive items that will be available only at South by. More information on the pop-up will be confirmed shortly. Stay tuned for more updates.
That is where you're going to get your release date and like the big blowout for Death Stranding 2.
Maybe. Like, I'm with you. I'm not so sure about that because to me, this reads more as like hey, Kojima really likes rubbing elbows with actors and Hollywood types, and South by Southwest is a place to do that and kind of, prance out all of the stars that you have onto a stage. I think that's kind of enough. I don't know that they need news for South by. That'd be big, but with the State of Play, all I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if we got the release date tomorrow, but I'm not expecting it.
Yeah.
But I do think that they can still do this and not need news surrounding it based on what they're going to do there.
I feel you. But which do you think is more likely?
I'm kind of leaning towards tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
that gives me hope.
but I'm
also
being
like,
real. I'm at like a 51-49 there.
Okay.
Like very, very, very close. I'm just looking at this and like this kind of sounds more of like a let's keep the hype going, right? Like, I mean, let's start here. When do you think the release date is at this
for
point?
Death Stranding 2?
Actually, before you answer that,
Uh-huh.
I think it's important to bring up an X factor here.
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid
Delta
Snake Eater, right? Or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, you nailed it.
It had that trailer drop last week that had the release date, but that leaked. Did they officially release it yet?
No. That's tomorrow. That was, I had that on my list of that's going to be at the State of Play tomorrow.
So, damn, that is weird because it's so funny that like, even the official source, not official sources, but like a lot of the main sites just posted that trailer. Like,
I think IGN had
just
it.
straight up.
Of like, I don't know. Here's the Metal Gear Solid trailer.
So now then we know that game is August,
Yes.
right? I don't necessarily think that affects this one way or another, but you know, it is interesting to just think about it and Death Stranding, the Kojima connection, the PlayStation connections. Like, if we're expecting that to be there, what do you think that affects the release timing of Death Stranding at all?
No. Yeah, I'll say no. Like maybe that. I think at the most I can see is maybe they don't release in August specifically. But I think outside of that, like, there's so many months in the year, there's so many places where Death Stranding 2 could drop. I was already expecting. Actually, I don't. For some reason, I'm all over the place with this game as far as where it could land. Because they can come out and say this game is coming out in November, and I'd understand it. They can come out and say this game is coming out in June, and I'd be like, makes sense, right? Like, that's the kind of game it is to me right now. And I think that's just because we don't, even though they've shown so much, it's also the thing of Death Stranding 2. I think the things they've shown have been so cinematic. And so, like, we've not really seen the gameplay breakdown of this game, and I don't know if we're even gonna get that. Maybe I guess we get that at South by Southwest. But because it's been so cinematic heavy, because it's a Kojima game, it's different from other games where by now with any other game, you get the cinematic trailer, you get the gameplay trailer, you get the release date trailer. With Kojima and Death Stranding, it's you get the cinematic trailer followed by a cinematic trailer, followed by another cinematic trailer. So I'm like, I don't know how close or far this thing feels. I think if it does feel like between tomorrow or the South by Southwest event, I would think that one of those will have the release date. I'm leaning more towards the South by Southwest thing, but either way, that's in the next month.
Here's, I guess, why I'm putting my 51% on this. I'm hearing voices in my head, bless.
Oh, Randy Orton.
5 little men, okay? And they're telling me something. It's going to be May. It's going to be May, bless. I'm thinking May for Death Stranding. I don't know why.
Okay.
That just feels right to me. And if that's the case, you announce the release date tomorrow, and then this is more of a get the hype going, get the press going, pre-orders and all of that, right? Lofty, like for sure, but there's just something about it. The Death Stranding 2 feels close to me.
I mean, I'm with you. Like, that's the thing is, it feels close. I just don't know why it feels close to me this way. But I'm with you that in the next month, we will know the Death Stranding 2 release date, either here or South by Southwest.
Okay.
And I think no matter what, I won't say no matter what, but the vibe I get from PlayStation nowadays, and even from Kojima, if you're going to announce a release date, that shit is around the corner. I don't think they're going to announce a release date for November 15th or whatever it is. Like, I think if you're going to say a date, I'm expecting May or June or July.
Now, what's interesting about that, though, is we have started to see a interesting trend that feels pretty unfamiliar for the last decade of games of people kind of shooting their shot and calling dates that are way ahead of where they used to kind of do that. Donkey Kong Country Returns being an example of, like, they called that shit like 6 months out or something, like a specific date in a different calendar year, which was really interesting. And then with Metal Gear Solid at this point too, like, it leaked a week ago, but let's say it announces tomorrow a date in August. That just seems pretty far out there, compared to how games in a, I would say even like a slightly pre-pandemic, but definitely pandemic and post-pandemic world, their release dates are 2025 until they're like, we know we're fucking shipping it. It's within 3 months. Here we go.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Death Stranding 2, like you were saying, it could be close, it could be far. It's Kojima. Who the fuck knows? But like, he straight up could just be like, it's November.
He
Boom,
could,
and
I'd get it, right? Like, it's also one of those things that's interesting because it's PlayStation Productions, but it's also Kojima Productions, which they have their own autonomy, and I imagine their own leeway as far as, oh yeah, we don't have to put this thing out in the next few months because we're Kojima and we can take as long as we need to make Death Stranding 2, and PlayStation will probably be fine with it. If this was if Death Stranding 2 was just a PlayStation studio working on this, if this was a Guerrilla Games working on this, then I would expect, okay, well, you're gonna want to have maybe Ghost of Yotei in the summer, that way you can have this hit in the fall, or vice versa. Like, I think Kojima Productions can drop this whenever they want, and PlayStation's going to be like, well, yeah, we're going to give you the freedom to do that because you're Kojima. So it's hard to pinpoint even how this would fit into a PlayStation strategy. So yeah, I'm with you of like, cool. They could say May just for the around the corner, like, cool. Now let's really ramp up our marketing. We have a state of play here. We have a South by Southwest thing in a month, right? And like really get that going. The reason why I think I still lean toward the South by Southwest like for more info on Death Stranding is because they're announcing it like right before State of Play.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the thing you would follow up a State of Play with. I think to announce it here.
It is PlayStation. How many times have they shown something and then immediately gave you more information though?
That's true.
You know?
But I almost feel like you're undercutting a little bit of, hey, like we got a Death Stranding 2 thing later on. Now here's a State of Play. It's like, well, then my automatic response is I don't expect to see Death Stranding 2 at the State of Play then. If you're telling me there's going to be a big event for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, we'll have to see. I don't think that we should expect to see it, but I don't think we should be surprised if it's there. Like that's kind of where I'm at with Death Stranding 2. Let's get a couple of super chats in here.
Well, before you do, I want to throw out like a couple more things because we talked about MGS3. We're gonna see that tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Lost Soul aside, this is a game that is
this another one of them ones?
Yeah, it's one of them ones.
Okay,
it's a PlayStation. I think they do their China Hero project, but I think they also have they have an India Hero project. I think maybe a Korea Hero project, but correct me if I'm wrong. I forget which one of those that this is part of. But basically, this game looks like if Final Fantasy married like Nier or something, right? Like you look at this, looks like Final Fantasy.
Yes, okay. This was one of the first ones that came out that like graphically were like, what the fuck?
Oh, here we go, China Hero project. So yeah, this is a game that's out of China. PlayStation, of course, sees this game and wants to go, hey, we want to help you fund your project and get this out and partner with you.
Looks like it's running on Switch right now, though.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with this trailer. The game doesn't really look like this. Okay, yeah, it still looks like it's a little bit choppy, but it's fine.
Big Final Fantasy 15 vibes.
Yeah, big Final Fantasy 15. I would even throw in like 13 versus, right? Action game, super quick action, right? They retweeted the State of Play.
Oh,
the account for this.
Okay. Yeah, feeling good.
So I imagine this is going to be there. I imagine this is also going to be there with the release date because it's been forever that this has been gestating. I got mixed feelings on if this is going to hit or not, but I could see this being anything up to the next Stellar Blade, which I think would be a slam dunk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, well, what about Black Myth?
I don't see it hitting those heights. I think it'll be. Here's the thing, because again, I like Stellar Blade more than Black Myth. Black Myth, I think, was just on another level as far as reception and production and presentation. This doesn't look like it has the cutscenes and shit of Black Myth.
And do you think that also has to do with there's a higher ceiling to a third-person action game like a God of War type more so than a modern Final Fantasy?
Yes, like
probably, right?
When I look at because I put this in the same bucket as is Stellar Blade, which I think has more of the, I know it's developed in China, right? But almost more of like an anime-esque style to it. And yeah, Final Fantasy or Nier or like that kind of style thing, I think does have more of a ceiling to it than Black Myth, which was invoking not only like a very popular Chinese mythology, right? But then Wukong, but then also, had this presentation to it that felt more along the lines of a God of War style thing. Yeah. So I think that just skyrockets it.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing I'll throw out there, and this is just based off of another rumor / leak sort of thing of Hell Is Us. That game seems people were saying that the release date for that got leaked in the last day or so. And so if that lines up, that could be a State of Play thing. I think the last time we saw that was also at a State of Play. If you're unfamiliar, that is the really interesting looking game. It is seemingly it has like Souls-like-ish elements to it, but it's more so of I would classify it as like third person immersive sim with like a bit of Returnal in it. I'm saying a lot of different things. Is this Hell Is Us? Oh, it is. Fast forward it a little bit to like where the gameplay is. So yeah, this is one I could see showing up as well.
You know, one that I pray is there. is A Midnight Walk. Kev, can you bring up A Midnight Walk on YouTube?
Real quick, this is what Hell Is Us is, right? Like, cool looking action game.
That's right. That's right.
I forget it's like a big name developer or big name like lead designer that's working on this.
And this is the one with that, like, as they like set up the trailer, it sounds like one of those like impossible to actually pull off games, right?
1000%. Is it Warren Spector? Chat, let me know. But what was the game you said? A Midnight Walk.
A Midnight Walk, yeah. So this is one that they showed at, I want to say, a State of Play, the last State of Play or something. And yeah, Kev, can you look at the date on this one?
Oh, yes.
4 months ago, yeah. So it must have been at the last State of Play. This is the one that's a PSVR game, but you can also just play it without VR. And it's this like, it's from the creators of Lost in Random, and it has this amazing stop motion look to it. I am super, super excited for this.
This looks really cool.
So I hope that we see more of it, because this is definitely one of those ones that they announced and we're all like, oh, that looks cool. And it's like, all right, when are we going to hear about it again, you know?
Correction for myself. Hell Is Us is directed by Jonathan Jacques Bellette. All right, let's see them super chats.
I'm pretty sure, Kev, can you actually just scroll to the end of this? I want to see what like time frame or whatever they gave on it. But it looks dope as hell, right?
It looks super cool. It is interesting though that they didn't mention PSVR.
I just wish this now
in the blog.
Yeah, no, they didn't. Just straight up PS5.
Yeah, usually they say PSVR too.
So maybe this isn't there, but I don't know. Maybe
I mean it's based PS5 as well. So
yeah. All right, let's look at these super chats here. Whoa, we got a bunch of them. Thank you so much. CJ Splitson says prediction 2025 is the year of the ape with no escape.
Wow.
I don't see it. I think what y'all got last year is the closest you sickos are going to get with Ape Escape.
You're the ape with no escape. What does that mean?
He wants an Ape Escape.
Oh. I thought he was trying to do something deeper there.
Maybe
like
he
the
was.
No Escape, that sounds like some kind of like M&M bar of like you got to read in between the lines. I mean, you're going to have Metal Gear Solid Delta with the Ape Escape mode in there.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're talking about.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Damn.
Oh, yeah, and that's going to be a big part of the State of Play, I'm sure. Or not big part of the State of Play.
But like that'll be a fun, that we already saw.
Yeah, that'll be a fun part of the trailer. I guess I didn't watch the leaked trailer. So
oh, yeah, you see the ape. He's there.
Fuck yeah.
Kebab says at 40 million, it feels like the big one for the year.
Oh, 40 minutes.
Oh, 40 minutes. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. Like, that's a good amount of time. We've seen like 40-minute State of Plays waste their time before. So I don't necessarily think that this means like we're going to get a ton of stuff.
Based on what we've talked about already, I'm already like bumping up my expectations to, I think this is going to be good. Like, I think this is going to be like, if Hell Is Us is there and Lost Soul Aside is there and the Metal Gear Solid Delta trailer is there already, I'm like, that's kind of good.
Yeah. It just, again, I feel like State of Plays often get so like kneecapped from leaks. Like getting the Metal Gear trailer would have been cool, and like that release date would have been like, oh, this is exciting. We've been waiting for this. Although I'm still shocked at how far away this release date is. Like, how is it August? But whatever. Volk Dasher says third-party obligations, Lost Souls Aside, which is Sony published. We'll get Ghost 2, Death Stranding 2 dates, God of War remasters. That comes up a couple times here. Resident Evil remaster.
Resident Evil remaster.
First-party live service stuff, more third-party. No one more thing first party surprise. I agree. I don't think we're going to get a one more thing first party thing. Like, I don't think there's any like major first party announcement that we're going to like pop off for.
And I think that's where, going back to Kebab's thing of this, it feels like the big one for the year. I think a big one for the year would have that like one more thing first party thing, and I think we'll get that in May or June during the regular Summer Game Fest time.
Yeah.
And that one more thing, Marathon. It's coming out in a few months. Coming out in August.
Woo! Yeah, okay, let's look through this here. So the Resident Evil remaster or Resident Evil 9, one or the other.
What remaster would it be?
There's been rumors of 0.
Okay.
There's always rumors of 1.
And those would be remakes? Those would be remasters?
Well, they've already remastered those. So they'd be remakes.
Okay.
There's also all those leaked SKUs for Resident Evil 5 and 6 remastered, I think, or something like that. But
that's probably what they're talking about here.
But I mean, I think there's been a lot of smoke recently around like a proper Resident Evil remake, and it looking like it's 0. I don't fully buy it, but maybe. I'm still of the mind that Resident Evil 9's next.
Yeah.
But that could be announced tomorrow. Would not be surprised at all.
I'd be a little surprised.
But why? Like, think about the history of Resident Evil games being announced. Where do they get announced?
No, state of play.
Random state of play.
You're right. There was that year where it was announced in like a December state of play.
That was Resident Evil 3, and then there was another random one that Resident Evil 4 was announced.
Yeah.
So, and Village as well, if I remember correctly.
I guess it depends on the timing of release on why I would be surprised. Because, like, I guess if we're talking about a Resident Evil 9 coming out this fall, then yeah, I think you announce it now.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about, like, it's coming out spring of next year.
Oh, I think it's...
You think it's this year for sure?
I still... Well, not for sure, but
okay.
I do think it's this year. I really think it's this year.
Right. Then yeah, I think that'd be a slam dunk. I think that would close the state of play.
If it's not this year, we would have went 2 full years without a Resident Evil.
Well, that's why I come back to the like Resident Evil remasters of you get the Resident Evil 5 and 6 remasters, which I know sounds lame. It is lame, but like, you know, those come out this year.
I wouldn't count those though. Like those don't count in terms of like what I'm saying of like Resident Evil has been essentially annualized for either a remake or a new iteration, new installment.
Yeah.
Right. So the remasters, those are just kind of, you know.
But like, I guess my thing is, I wonder if they're just taking more time this time. Maybe. They are like, hey, we want to make sure. Not that because Village did well, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
Right. So like, it's not like they have to remake the wheel, but I wonder if it is a thing of maybe they don't want to do the boring. I forget the main character's name, but they don't want to.
Winters.
Yeah, they're not. Ethan Winters isn't going to be the main character of this one. Like, let's use this as a chance to kind of redefine and like, you know, re-envision what Resident Evil can be and really like get our shit right with 9. And in the meantime, let's release some remasters in 2025 and then come back in 2026 with a bang. So let's do the Resident Evil 5 and 6 remasters announced at State of Play right now, and then in May you announce Resident Evil 9.
Yeah, potentially. Like definitely something in there that all makes sense to me. Do you think that we see the first party live service stuff?
No. I get summer vibes from that. I think we see Marathon next, and I think Marathon is summer showcase or summer state of play. It is a tough thing though of how do you show that off after Concord was such a blunder. Good word for that. Yeah.
Raul says God of War Grease trilogy remake. This is another one where like there's been so much commotion about this, but I don't know where the source of the commotion is. Because I don't know if you've seen this. There's been multiple rumors. One that the God of War 1 through 3 are going to get remade or remastered in some way, shape, or form for PS5. The other is that just the next God of War game is prequel. Where it is prettier and like more in the style of the new ones, but you were young Kratos in Greece. I don't think that gets announced tomorrow. That's wild.
That sounds so wild.
Yeah. But the trilogy remaster, I think we're going to get it. I just don't know if now's the time.
I think that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, speaking of remasters though, Days Gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lock it. Fucking lock it.
It's shocking that's been rumored for so long at this point. Yeah,
you're right. Like, that definitely, I think that'll be here tomorrow. You know what else I think is going to be here? I said this jokingly, our last predictions for something. I don't remember what it was. We're going to get a Last of Us remaster of some sort. And I'm serious.
What else could they remaster?
I don't know, but they're going to put out something new for Last of Us because the show's coming out so soon.
But I don't think anything's left, right?
I mean, a dual pack.
Oh my God.
Part 1 and 2. Last of Us, the full fucking collection so far, remastered again.
This is what I want. If you're going to remaster your Last of Us thing, obviously, the Last of Us online multiplayer game, you canceled it. It's not coming to fruition. Go back and just remaster the Last of Us 1 multiplayer mode. Last of Us factions from Last of Us 1, just remaster that and give it to me.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that.
Oh, man. But that'd be such a good idea.
I really, truly believe in my core we're going to get a Last of Us 1, 2, something that's new. That news in air quotes, but
I know people are usually like, I think, overly upset when it comes to the Last of Us remasters and stuff. I would join them. like if you do a Last of Us 1 and 2 remastered like dual pack and announce it tomorrow, you would see me with the pitchfork. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Leave it alone. It's fine. You've done it enough.
Jamie Vent says this state of play is going to go hard on remakes and remasters. My guess is our God of War 1 through 3, Ape Escape, and it's finally happening. Bloodborne.
Listen, I'm right there with you, brother.
Let's
make it happen.
Let's believe. Volk Dasher says, gone are the days of banger after banger at a showcase. Sony work on a 1 to 2 game promotion cycle. Announce games, release after 12 to 15. Repeat. Most state of plays are building third-party relationships to leverage exclusives. I don't think those days are gone. I just think that we're not in them right now. I think they'll be back. But I agree with what you're saying here about this is probably going to be heavily third party or first party, lesser things.
Yeah. I feel like Xbox, like the Xbox E3, not E3 showcase last year, that felt like banger after banger.
Absolutely.
So I think those days are here. I do wonder like what getting back to those days look like for PlayStation, because I think I'm a little bit with Volkdasher of it's hard for me to envision a banger after banger showcase for PlayStation, not because they don't have the bangers, I think they do, but just because I think they're spread out more and it's harder to like align the stars.
I just don't. I think that that's just because we're at a point right now that those things that we're talking about as being bangers aren't coming out. But the longer they don't come out together, that means the better chance there is they will come out together. You get what I'm saying? So it's like the longer we don't see from Wolverine again, the more likely it is that Wolverine and Intergalactic and whatever Sony Santa Monica is doing are going to line up in like a bomb way, right?
Yeah.
So I think we'll be back. It's just going to take a little time. Roberto says, with all the Bloodborne takedowns happening, it might finally be time to announce an update. My second prediction's Resident Evil 9. That is an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Why has Sony gone after Bloodborne out of nowhere recently?
I think it's happening. I think it's happening.
You think it's happening tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow.
Okay.
I think it's happening though. Like I think they're doing something with Bloodborne. Because I'm like, why do you go after? Why go after the remake? Why go after like these different Bloodborne fan projects unless you're about to do something with Bloodborne? Because they didn't go after them before. Why just on a random Tuesday?
Yeah.
Do you send the lawyers?
Yeah, man.
But I think tomorrow's probably too soon. I think this is them gearing up to like start working on something.
Prinny dude, Xbox games at State of Play, or is it too soon for that? Here's the thing, Bless. It's too soon for that. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I feel like if Xbox were to, they want to own that messaging, right?
Who, Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are they ripping that goddamn Band-Aid off? And are we seeing Forza Horizon 5 tomorrow? And is it getting a release date?
Here's the thing. You say own the messaging. I think Xbox would so happily put their shit in any State of Play or any PlayStation showcase. I think it's more PlayStation to be either. I don't know how like these things happen of like, does PlayStation reach out? Is Xbox reach out to play? Like, obviously those relationships with third parties are very like, transactional is a word, but like there is a back and forth to it. I think those relationships have to get built. And I don't know if we're in a place yet where those relationships are built for Xbox to be like, hey, yeah, put this in the thing, except for Bethesda stuff. I think those, but I can't talk. The Bethesda relationship, I think, is already built from like the last decades of Bethesda being around, that I could see a Doom the Dark Ages or I forget if Outer Worlds 2 is coming to place. I just assume everything is. Outer Worlds 2, you know, if you have something there, but I don't expect, here's the thing, I don't expect like big new info.
Here's my thing.
What's up?
I'm putting it down. I'm saying it's going to happen. Take it to the bank, everybody. We're getting the Forza release date on PlayStation tomorrow.
Absolutely not.
It's happening. It's happening. They already own the beat of Xbox. Xbox owned the announcement.
Kevin, do you have the pizza bet button? Because we're doing a pizza bet.
Let's bet, baby.
Forza is not showing up at a State of Play.
A Raising Cane's bet.
Oh, I like this.
Okay.
I like Raising Cane's. That is great. I love
Forza
that.
Horizon 5 release date at the State of Play, or slightly after.
Okay.
But it'll be in, no. I mean, what I mean by that is like we'll get the trailer for Forza in the State of Play. It might not show the release date, but then the PlayStation blog's going to announce the release date.
I'll accept that.
We will get the release date tomorrow.
I like this.
In a PlayStation place.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
All right, Raising Cane's.
Let's fucking go.
I love this. I love this energy from you.
Now, on top of that, though, do we expect any other Xbox announcement? I don't.
I always forget which ones are coming day and date. I'm just gonna assume all of them are. Doom the Dark Ages.
South of Midnight is the only one that's not
coming to PlayStation
in the upcoming slate, as far as I remember.
I could see like an additional trailer. Again, like no big news, like no big new Doom the Dark Ages thing or big new Outer Worlds 2 thing, but maybe just say, hey, this is on PlayStation, sort of thing.
Indie.
Oh, yes, Indiana Jones. Yes, that I could see.
Yeah.
When is that? When is that out on PlayStation? That has a release date.
It must have a release date, right? Or is it just spring? Indiana Jones, PS5.
Yeah, people are saying Avowed as well. But Avowed isn't out like day and date on PlayStation. I don't expect that tomorrow, just because I think Xbox is going to see this through to like launch it on their own platform first, and then afterwards get that marketing beat. Not even as a competitive thing. I think mainly as a focused effort on, hey, this is where it's releasing right now. Yeah. Let's put all our marketing behind it. Game Pass. Then afterwards, when you're in that marketing season for the PS5 version, then you push real hard.
Indiana Jones is just spring right now.
Oh yes,
It's there,
yes.
baby.
See that?
Holy
that
shit.
is going to be there.
It's
That
happening.
1000% is going to be there.
Wow, what a time to be alive, everybody. Then we got Yes Ford saying new Destiny 2 expansion probably gets announced.
Cool. I don't know where we're at with
I don't
Destiny
either,
2
but I would
expansions.
be like, yes, I
Was
believe
it,
you.
The last one it had final in the title.
The final shape.
The final shape.
Yeah.
But like the word final, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about my ass. I'm not going to talk about my ass.
Wait, but wasn't it ending? Didn't
I don't know.
it end? I thought it ended.
Who knows, man?
If I stand on anything right here with Destiny, a bunch of Destiny fans are gonna fucking dunk on me and be like, "You idiot!" They said here they're making 10 million more expansions.
Oh my god.
It's a 30-year game.
Chris H says we need Halo Master Chief Collection on PS5. Is this where they like?
No.
God. I mean, it's
No.
it's third party at this point.
PlayStation's not letting John Halo's face show up on a PlayStation State of Play.
PlayStation
It's called a
nothing more
PlayStation
than that.
State
Why
of Play.
not?
Because like
they get the
Kratos'
money.
faces, they don't want Kratos and Master Chief. They don't want their faces together.
I don't know, man. I think
Fucking
those days
dogs
are
and
over.
cats.
I think those days
hanging
are
out
over.
in the same doghouse.
Gondor's Condor says, my prediction, underwhelming PSN outage apology. I don't think they mentioned that whatsoever.
Yeah, no, that shit's already recorded.
Yeah, no. Cooking with Vinny says, do we think that Xbox's successful streak of showcases is placing enough pressure on PlayStation to make larger announcements during its state of plays? No. Unfortunately, I think PlayStation are stuck in their ways, and they also just don't have the stuff in the way that Xbox does right now. Like, Xbox showcases are
They have like a million studios
and
over
they are
there.
primed and ready to like show stuff and have news. Like, yeah, Xbox is just I think they're miles ahead of PlayStation currently when it comes to a software lineup that showcases have with content to fill showcases.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think PlayStation is going to be moved in that way until it is like a legitimate financial threat of, oh shit, we're not keeping up. We're seeing our audience like dip because Xbox's showcases are like converting fans. And like, I think
And I don't
that
think
would
that's
have to
gonna
be the
happen.
thing to happen. And
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening at the rate that PlayStation would change things.
Totally. Robbie Robb says, do we hear about the live action Death Stranding at South by Southwest? Wouldn't be surprised. That's what you talk about in
Yeah.
a 24 movie. you
Yeah.
know? Volk Dasher says Lost Soul Aside has a big history. One person started it after Final Fantasy 13 Versus got canceled. Then Shu saw it and convinced Sony to fund it. Fast forward 8 years, it's finally ready for release.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. Jay Baseball says Pragmata announces release date on another sticky note.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Remember,
I don't think so.
My bold prediction is that we never see Pragmata ever again. I think it's deep down. Like the
Dang.
game deep down.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Like I think it's more likely than not we don't see it again.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's impossible it comes back.
I agree.
JD Silva says, are Devil May Cry remakes up next for Capcom? This has been so freaking interesting, Bless.
Mm-hmm.
Because Capcom are just killing it. They've been killing it for years now. And they've done a couple interesting things. I thought Onimusha was dead. Because Onimusha put out part 1 remastered 6 years ago, I want to say at this point, and it did not do well. It did not perform well. I'm actually replaying it right now. I'm almost done with it. What a
Almost
time.
done. Good
I
for
mean,
you.
it's like 5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it didn't do well. And then now a new Onimusha announced, and they're putting out 2. They put out the anime, an Onimusha anime on Netflix last year. And it's like, well, that's such a weird choice for a brand that in decades hasn't been relevant and most recently didn't perform. So why'd you do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have a Devil May Cry anime coming out in just a couple weeks in April. The sides are starting to add up a little bit. Now, some of the heads of the teams left that would be making a Devil May Cry 6.
Mm-hmm.
But a remake of Devil May Cry 1, it's time.
I think it makes sense.
It's time.
I'm surprised they haven't already done it.
Yeah. So
I'm thinking more of remaster. You're thinking remake?
they've already remastered them. Devil May Cry 1,
Like
2,
recently?
as much as they need to.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like they're running in like I think 4K 60. Like they're remastered.
Okay.
Baby. Like they're good. Yeah, I think Devil May Cry remake. And there's been again rumors, but like we're at a point right now where the fucking rumors feel sourceless. And then people just kind of repeat things. But Yeah, I don't think we see that tomorrow, but I mean, I'd get really freaking hyped about it.
I mean, that'd be amazing. I think that would be such a slam dunk. That's one of those things. Like, it's the Fallout meme of like, you know, I forget exactly what it is, but this made everyone happy.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Devil May Cry remake is, I think, a net positive all around.
Mara says, isn't the rumored that it's going to be 1 and 3 combined remake? That would be the fucking dream, because 3 is the best. Another game that I'm replaying right now.
And it's a way to skip 2, because 2 wasn't great, right?
2 was not great. Again, 2 was also very, very, very short, and it's like kind of worth playing for the memes.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad, and I mean, bad in a good way, but
well, could they do the thing where they remake 1, skip 2, and
Straight
then
up.
remake 3?
yeah, but I do think it could make sense to combine 3 and 1 into some very loose narrative, but it could be getting ahead of myself. I'm excited. I hope it happens. I believe, but only because Capcom has told me to believe in anything. At a certain point, it'll come true.
You're not wrong.
Steven says, do you think we'll see Forza Horizon 5 in a release date? I think yes. Irk the Imp says, I can only wish for a new or remake of Devil May Cry. New anime is around the corner. There we go. Jim C says, Last of Us Part 2 PC port's already announced for April at the VGAs. Yeah, I think they're going to want to do something on the PlayStation side, though. I'm just telling you.
If I see the words Last of Us and you're not giving me a trailer for the new season, well, actually, could they give us something for the new season?
They could. They could. I don't expect that, but yeah, they could.
Yeah. A look at what character could they give us a look at? Have we seen Dina's boyfriend
Yes.
in action in the trailer?
Mhm.
All right, I
And
guess
he
just
looks
show me Abby's
exactly
dad, I
like-
guess.
Yeah.
Just laying
Show
there.
me Abby's dad.
show me
the doctor.
Show me Abby's dead dad.
Nando says, Judas and /or Hades 2. Let's make it happen.
Judas would be sick.
Judas would be sick.
Hades 2 would be sick. Also, somebody in chat said Lev. That's actually a good call. Even though I don't see Lev until season 3.
You're right, yeah. Yeah.
But that
God,
could
we're
be
so
a good
close.
call. If we get a tease.
So close. I don't expect Hades 2. I don't expect Judas either, but maybe.
Yeah.
David N says, new Astro content. Oh, I hope. I really hope.
Yeah. I forget where we're at with because they kept talking about new content and then they kept giving us new content. So, like,
We're done.
Are we done? Have they talked about?
Yeah.
They haven't talked about new content since the Christmas thing.
No, because we had the new content that was just like a couple like weeks of the speedrun levels, and then they were like, "Oh, here's the bonus Christmas one." So like that's where we're at.
Okay.
So it's like they haven't closed the book on it, but
They haven't promised anything
yeah.
else.
Split Fiction's another thing we'll probably see.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
El Capitan says Ghost of Yote is only coming this fall if GTA 6 isn't coming in the fall. Yeah,
That's fair.
Interesting.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
actually a good point of like, would they even want to put a window on Ghost of Yote?
Or do you wait till GTA just makes its move or doesn't make its move at a certain point? I don't know. Nick Lantis says, I think it's time we get Devil May Cry in the same way we got Resident Evil, make 2 and 3. I don't ever see them going back to 2 at all whatsoever. But yeah, 1 and 3, I'm here for it. It would be great. They've proven they can do remakes incredibly well. And Devil May Cry 1 in particular really, really, really could use a remake.
Yeah.
3, it's still a fucking banger.
Dude, I would love it. I have such a shady or like a foggy past with the old Devil May Cry games because there are joints that I would always borrow from Addison. And I think I borrowed Devil May Cry 2, unfortunately, and that was my first Devil May Cry game, and I didn't love it. Like, I started playing it, and I kind of got bored with it and gave it back. But then I think he let me borrow 3, and I started playing it, and I think 2 had already colored kind of like my perception, so I don't think I got even that far in it.
Yeah.
But like the latest Devil May Cry 6 is 5. Devil May Cry 5 played it and I fucking loved.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like I would love for them to remake them just so I could actually go back and experience those the way they're supposed to be experienced. I know I could probably go back and just play them now, but
No, I mean, I
Times of
think
the
1 would
essence.
be really hard for you.
you think so?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
Aged?
Yep, it has not aged well. Like it's a classic, but like it's definitely weird isometric not even isometric, just fixed camera angles. That's what
Yeah.
I'm looking for. Like yeah.
I also borrowed Van Helsing, the video game from Addison,
yeah,
which
you
was
did.
basically just a Devil May Cry game.
That's most of the PS2
Yeah.
library at that point. Kinetic says, I mostly buy all my games on PC the past few years, but I just bought a PS5 Pro and you must play games.
PS5 Pro, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Yeah, I mean, if you had PC though, he could play it there. Like,
Oh,
what are
that's true.
PlayStation exclusive games? At this point, we're running out, right?
PlayStation exclusive games.
That aren't on PC. Because like Spider-Man,
You're talking about a lost breed. Those don't exist anymore. We're in a new era.
yeah,
They
like,
can't play on PC.
the 2 God of War games are there already.
Is Ratchet? No, Rift Apart is on
Ratchet
there.
is.
Oh,
Astrobot. That's the best answer.
there you go.
Astrobot. Play that. Jordan White says Ninja Gaiden 4 and DMC 6 come out on the same day. Which one are you playing first? DMC, baby. Although Ninja Gaiden looks fucking awesome.
That's really tough.
But with
for
where
me.
DMC 5 ended, I'm like, I need more. So
I think I'm going Ninja Gaiden, but that's because I love Platinum so much,
Mhm.
and like I know what I'm getting. Like after seeing that trailer, I know what I'm getting from them. But I will play Devil May Cry immediately after.
Mara says the other day in response to a tweet asking which DMC should get a remake, Johnny Young Bosch, who's the voice of Nero and Anime Dante, replied Devil May Cry 6. Interesting. I just don't believe 6 is a possibility at this point because of
Hear me
the
out.
staffing.
Devil May Cry 666 because it's the devil.
Yeah,
Come
dude.
on,
Fuck
that
it,
logo's about to go crazy.
Yeah,
if
we're
we
gonna
get
make him
Devil May
cry
Cry
this time.
6, it's gonna be crazy.
Tier says, do you think we'll see Marvel 1943 anytime soon?
No.
No, I don't either. We're going to keep going and probably do these a little quicker than normal because we spent a lot of time on this stuff.
This
but
is fun though.
we're going to, yeah, very fun. We're going to do that right after a word from our sponsors. This episode's brought to you by Rocket Money. Missing out on a show that everyone's talking about isn't an option for people like me. So many of us are constantly signing up for this streaming service or that streaming service, and then a few months later realize that we're still paying for the service long after we finish the show. Rocket Money has helped multiple members of Kind of Funny learn that they were still paying for things that they totally didn't even realize. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. You can see all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/kindafunny today. That's rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. This episode is brought to you by Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. Plus, if your shades ever go missing or take an unexpected hit, don't sweat it. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by lost or broken replacements. Y'all know I've been outside in the sun a lot playing Pokemon Go, and it is such a great experience wearing Shady Rays when I'm out and about looking all dope. Exclusively for you, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal. Head to shadyrays.com and use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Again, go to shadyrays.com, use code FUNNY to get 35% off polarized sunglasses. shadyrays.com, promo code FUNNY. This episode's brought to you by BetterHelp. When you are having serious conversations with the people in your life, we often hear them talk about red flags that we should avoid. But what if we focus more on looking for green flags in friends and partners? If you're not sure what they look like, therapy can help you identify green flags, actively practice them in your relationships, and embody the green flag energy yourself. Some of my best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule, and it serves over 5 million people worldwide. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/kindoffunny to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindoffunny. betterhelp.com/kindoffunny. And we're back. Story number 3. Stellar Blade dev shift up post record year. Sales of PC version still expected to outsell PS5. 5. This comes from Ryan Dinsdale at IGN. Stellar Blade developer ShiftUp has posted a record-breaking year financially as Stellar Blade brought in $43 million in royalties, and the PC version is expected to outsell the PS5 one. As reported by Game World Observer, ShiftUp released its 2024 financial report, which revealed it recorded $151.4 million in revenue, an increase of 30.4% year over year. This includes $43.2 million from Stellar Blade royalties alone. There were seemingly no signs of it slowing down either, as ShiftUp reiterated that it expects PC sales to be better, especially in the Asian game market. It also plans to reveal its new game, Project Witches, in the first half of 2025, though this doesn't appear to be the highly requested Stellar Blade sequel. Project Witches was revealed in 2024, not long after Stellar Blade was released on PS5, and therefore before momentum for a sequel was built up. ShiftUp has said it's considering making another game in the franchise, though. Hell yeah.
I love seeing Stellar Blade success.
Yes, it's very, very good, very healthy.
Yeah.
And on top of that, them predicting that the PC is going to outsell PS5, fuck yeah. What
Which
a
I wonder,
shift.
I guess they said because of the Asian market, right? But like, even still, that's just very, oh, I see what you did there. You intended that pun.
I intended
Good
the
on you
pun,
intending your
Wes.
puns. But yeah, wild to think that your PC release is like you're projecting that to outsell your console thing. That was the initial release. They're gonna make a lot of money on this game.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait for a couple months from now to get those numbers. Or I wonder if we're going to. I wonder if their projections are correct.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because to me, that sounds kind of surprising that they're expecting it to outsell the PS5 one.
But like, I mean,
But there's the reasoning to back it up.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm with them. I'm supporting them. Let's see it.
yeah, and
It's exciting.
I think the biggest thing here that I'm excited about is it sounds like that means we're gonna get more Stellar Blade, right? Like, well, they closed off the saying that ShiftUp has said is considering making another game in the franchise. I think looking at these numbers, for sure, you're going to get another game in the franchise. And the reason that excites me the most is that I think there's so much to improve off of Stellar Blade 1, right? Stellar Blade 1, I think, had such a solid foundation of, okay, you guys looked at Nier and you looked at some of the From Software stuff and you like basically made an amalgamation of like what action games are doing in 2024. And so because of that, you have a really solid action game, but then also just a lot of stuff that feels like, this could be more inspired. Oh, these characters could be more interesting. Oh, this story could like build on itself a bit more. But you emulated what you were trying to emulate, I think, pretty well on the surface level.
Yeah.
Now, for a sequel, I want to see the substance.
Yep.
Like, make those side quests pop more. Make the writing in the world like more interesting. Like, get me more invested in the characters. Maybe let's not rely as heavily on the fan service and the big titties. let's dial in on the things that can, I think, really turn this game from an 8 out of 10 to a 9 or a 10 out of 10. I think you could get there with a sequel, and so I really hope they do.
Hell yeah. Story number 4, Ready at Dawn co-founder discusses failed Order 1886 sequel pitch. This comes from Tom Ivan at VGC. Ready at Dawn co-founder Andrea Pisano has opened up about the now shuttered studio's failed attempt to develop a sequel to the Order 1886. Released in 2015 exclusively for PS4, the game proved to be a critical misfire for the once lauded studio, which had previously collaborated with Sony on a number of well-received titles. They included PSP games Daxter, God of War Chain of Olympus, and God of War Ghost of Sparta, plus God of War Origins Collection for PS3, which garnered scores of 84 to 91 on Metacritic. The Order 1886 received a 63 on Metacritic, despite scoring way higher in mock reviews. Pisano told MinMax that this is why he believes Sony passed on a sequel. Quote, I don't think it was the sales. I think it was the critical reception, and that's the thing. Sony's a very proud group, and rightfully so, and the critical reception, if it had even been just in the 70s, we would have had a sequel, I'm convinced. Just a few points more and it would have been okay. With the Order reportedly receiving mid-70 scores in mock reviews, it's claimed that Sony had decided on a release date and it was non-negotiable. So Ready at Dawn did its best to get the game in shape with the time it was afforded. One of the problems is, is that so much was cut out and a lot of more subtle narrative parts were lost because so much was chopped away and things were supposed to be interactive became a movie. Ooh, what a great quote there. Mm-hmm. We needed another year. That's the reality. We needed at least one more year, and we didn't get it, so we were like, cut. Pisano said 2018 would have been a very realistic launch window for the sequel, which would have featured multiplayer, and while he didn't confirm what year the game would have taken place, he said the fan theory that it was going to be set in 1986 was wrong. So there's a lot here. First off, shout out to MinMax. They've been crushing it recently. Getting a lot of really, really good dev interviews that result in a lot of news stories. So cool stuff. Shout out to Ben and the team over there. Also interesting here because you know, we now have a retrospective looking back on what PlayStation currently is and what it was. And like, we think of like, oh my God, the PS4 era fucking dominated. But it's like, there was a time where it wasn't.
Oh,
There
yeah,
was a
that
time
early PS4 era.
it just launched and it just kind of like was
Slow start.
happening, you know, and it had Bloodborne, right?
Yeah.
But Order 1886, like that was one that it was like, you know, kind of came and went on, you know,
and that was one that
story
I think
said.
people were highly anticipating from the E3 showings. Like, it looked cool, looked interesting, had like very cool presentation. I think the world seemed cool with like the werewolves and all that shit, but came out, and I think the biggest complaints were its length, which I think makes sense to what Pacino was talking about here of, hey, yeah, we had to get it out, and so we had to cut things, we had to turn playable things into cutscenes essentially, but then that resulted in a worse game.
But imagine if, and you know, there's a lot of ifs here. There's a lot of like make believe and like pretending that things are good, you know?
Yeah.
But imagine if what he's saying here happened and they got that extra year and it came out in 2018 and it was then part of that Spider-Man Horizon, God of War, Last of Us, like blah, blah, blah,
Do you
blah,
think
blah.
it could have,
And then get that sequel and then it just being another one of those games for them. Like that could be crazy.
but like I've not played Order 1886.
I'm not either.
But and even in this is me talking on my ass, maybe I should hit up Greg Miller. Cause like even if you gave it the extra year, I don't know if it would have been the next like God of War, the next Horizon, right? Like maybe it was PlayStation being like, yo, if this comes out this year, it's gonna be a 6, it's gonna be a 6.5. It will, if we get another year, maybe it'll be a 7.5, and like that's not worth the extra year of development because that costs a lot of money.
Totally.
Just get this out, right? We have this deal with you.
Yeah.
And so like it could have gone either way,
We'll never
honestly,
know.
but
We'll never know. But then we got a story number 5, Dragon Quest 12, information to be revealed little by little. The series creator Yuji Horii says, this comes from Wesley Yin-Poole at IGN. Dragon Quest 12 is still in development and information will be released little by little. As reported by Automaton, Horii said the development team at Square Enix is working hard on Dragon Quest 12 while on a live stream with his radio show group. It's the first update on the game since May 2024, when Horii noted the deaths of Dragon Quest character designer Akira Toriyama and composer Koichi Sugiyama. The series lead producer Yu Miyake and by that point already stepped down from his position to lead Square Enix's mobile game division. Fans had expressed concern that Dragon Quest 12 might have been canceled amid restructuring at Square Enix and a lack of updates, but the latest comments appear to confirm the game's still in the works. Dragon Quest 12 was announced as part of the series' 35th anniversary celebration and will be the first mainline entry since 2017's Dragon Quest 11, Echoes of an Elusive Age. 2017, that's wild. I would have not thought it was that long ago since a new Dragon Quest came out.
I mean, time flies, right? I forget, I was reading something about like some game that released in like 2015, and I couldn't believe that it had been 10 years. But yeah, like 2017 for Dragon Quest Echoes of Elusive. I think the reason, Tim, why it's surprising that it's been that long is because it didn't stop showing up in E3 showcases.
Yeah.
It just kept appearing and appearing and appearing, and we hear that music, and it's like, oh, now it's Switch. Oh, now it's the remastered version. Like, it kept doing that.
Yeah.
And so that the game feels like it came out 4 years ago.
10 times. Yeah.
10 times, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, you know, I get it, though. It was a big game.
Huge. Gigantic
game. But Bless, if I wanted to know the small, little, tiny news stories, where would I look?
You'd look toward our last news story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
We got not 1, but 2 posters for Mortal Kombat 2.
No way.
Let's fucking go. The movie coming out soon, October 24th.
This ain't one of them, right? Is this one of them?
Yeah, this is it.
Oh.
Like his
Hey, this is
logo.
cool. It's a
Just
cool
the logo.
Cool too. That's
I mean,
a cool
Mortal
too.
Kombat overall, dope logo.
Yeah.
Always, right? Is this anything as cool as the old ones? No. But
This
still
is
cool.
what I'm talking about.
Here we go.
This is that
Our
good
boy,
shit.
Johnny fucking Cage.
Is there a way to
Carl
expand this?
Urban. Wild.
Is there a way to make this bigger, Kevin? I just want to see every single detail of this. You had me scared for a second, Tim, with the first poster.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way. Yeah, Johnny Cage from the studio that brought you Rebel Without a Cage.
Fuck yeah.
Come on.
Fuck yeah, man.
For audio listeners, of course, it is Carl Urban as Johnny Cage with the fucking leather jacket and sunglasses on. I mean, it's a movie poster for a fake movie in the universe of Mortal Kombat that Johnny Cage is in. Uncaged Fury.
Come on.
Explosions, motorcycles in the back, all that good stuff.
The Thing and Human Torch launches playable characters in Marvel Rivals on February 21st, 2025. Capcom has extended the Monster Hunter Wilds beta after the PSN outage rendered the previous test unplayable for a whole day. The new period is February 13th, 7 p.m. Pacific to February 17th, 6:59 p.m. Pacific.
They got it nailed down to the minute. At 7, you're done.
You're done.
Get the fuck out of our game.
Mid-Boss, developer of Read Only Memories, is shutting down. That sucks. Very, very
Yeah.
unfortunate. Veterans from Mojang and Coffee Stain have established a new indie publisher called Three Friends.
Cool. Why wasn't kind of funny called 4 sometimes 5 friends?
Yeah, could have
As a
been called
company
many
name,
things,
you
like
know?
Pigeon Patrol, because somebody wore a pigeon shirt. You know what I mean? Since day one, pigeon shirt. But,
Pigeon Patrol.
Pigeon Patrol.
Y'all were wilding back in 2015.
Dude, we were fucking wild. Plus, you know how hard it is to come up with a name. I know you do know.
Yeah, I do
Get
know.
the URL, get the socials. Like, are you kidding me? Fucking
I
challenge,
feel you.
man. Kinetic says, if I've never played a Metal Gear Solid, could I hop into Delta? Yes.
Yes.
I think that is one of the only Metal
I
Gear
need
Solid
you-
games that you can jump into.
I need you to talk some sense into Roger Bercorny
Hmm.
because we were talking about he hasn't played Metal Gear Solid and he was talking about how he kind of wants to play Metal Gear like leading into Delta, and I was like, well, if you want to, you could probably just hop into Delta, but you could also play Metal Gear Solid 1. And Roger's like, what if I just play 2? And I was like, don't
no,
you fucking
that's the
dare.
worst. Yeah.
He's like considering playing 2 as his first
no,
Metal Gear
no,
Solid.
no, don't do that. Like,
That's what I try to tell
there
him.
was a time and place that made sense, and that was back when there was only 2 Metal Gear Solid games,
Yep.
and you didn't have the PS1, so I have a PS2, I'm gonna play this game. Cool, fine, that makes sense.
Yep.
You didn't fucking get it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But you had a lot of fun. You had a
like,
lot of fun.
Metal Gear Solid 2 is probably the second worst. Like, it's one of the best Metal Gears. Second worst to play play as your first one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The
Right
first,
behind 4.
Right behind 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
4 is the worst one to play as your first Metal Gear game. 2 is, I think, is not a close second, but is second.
Yeah.
And then all the other ones pick and choose. Like, honestly,
Pretty
you can-
much, yeah.
You can start anywhere else.
Let's see what we got wrong. And you're wrong. Oh wow. Okay.
See, now I got to open up your wrong to see what you're wowing about. Oh.
There's just like
They
a
wrote-
lot of
wrote
formatted
an
text, so I'm
essay.
trying to make some sense of this here. None of you wrong. Just continue.
Yeah, somebody wrote as you're reading through that, I'll read some of these other ones. Let's see here. Blue Arrow writes in and says, for Game Showdown, Team Tim won Season 1, Season 2. Team Blue won, obviously both won by Tim. What do you say? Both won by Tim. So technically Greg's team has only one season because of the change. I see what you're saying. Team Blue wasn't established until Season 2. So technically Team Blue,
Is that true?
yeah, because
Oh, Team
Season
Tim,
1
you're right,
you were
you're
Team
right,
Tim.
you're right.
But like, I like to think of it as Team Tim just morphed into Team Blue.
Thank you. So do I.
So
I
like
should say
right
that
now,
way, but-
Greg technically is part of Team Tim.
No, don't say that.
I mean, he is the team leader of Team Tim. You're the team leader of Team Greg right now.
Oh man, I hate this. Here's the problem. Then I win, and then later when I win back my blue, however that's going to happen, because it will happen. Bless.
I mean, we'll see.
Then what? Greg's going to take credit for my wins there? I don't fucking know.
Why
man.
do we have the pocket full of
It's because of the shirt.
Oh,
Les.
thank you.
Oh,
It's
Thank
because of
you.
the shirt.
Thank you.
His pigeon
Kevin.
shirt.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, I too liked the Jared Petty podcast.
So,
Pockets full of soup.
Here's the thing. We have this like big you're wrong here from no name. They just put in some information that I do actually think is worth bringing up here. Not a you're wrong, but just to contribute to the Death Stranding 2 release date talk since it was rated in Korea last week. This is relevant. These are SIE's other Korean ratings as compiled by Reset Era user Zeta50. So it's a list of times the game was rated in Korea and then when it released. So Death Stranding originally 2 months and 12 days later. Horizon Zero Dawn complete on PC 2 months and 6 days. God of War Ragnarok on PlayStation 5 months 21 days. Looking through these, it seems
The
like
longest it's taken is 5 months.
and 3 months seems to be the average.
Yeah.
So this points to a May to July release for Death Stranding 2.
I buy it.
I mean,
I 1000% buy
yeah,
that.
this is smokes. Where's the fire, everybody?
Huh.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, whoever.
Fucking thank you.
You should have put your name here because you're an unsung hero.
I know, exactly. That's some good
Yeah,
actual
whoever
info.
this is, it's Kojima.
Yeah, exactly. Watching games daily, just like the writers of Mythic Quest. Which, by the way, you caught up on that?
Yes. It's so good.
It's so good.
Come on.
I love that this season they're like, fuck stakes. They don't matter. Let's just have fun.
Let's just have fun.
Just make
Let's
good
get back
video
to
game
basics.
jokes.
This is what I want out of Mythic Quest.
Yeah.
Season 3, I didn't love as much as the first two. Hey, let's not act like it didn't happen, but like let's reset, get back to the basics. This is good TV right here.
It's good TV.
A lot of good TV happening right now.
Yes.
Invincible is good. Apparently, my Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I gotta watch the other episodes because I only seen episode 1, but you're making it sound great.
Yeah.
TV's happen all over the place.
Good times, man.
WWE Raw.
We got Daredevil in a couple weeks.
God, I'm gonna cancel some things. Cancel all my plans for 2 weeks from now.
Cancel everyone's plans, everybody. Let us know in the comments below what you hope to see tomorrow at the PlayStation State of Play. Of course, we're going to be live reacting along with you.
Severance, come on.
Yeah, come the fuck on, everybody. We got White Lotus coming back this Sunday.
I still haven't seen White Lotus.
Wait, really?
Yeah, dude. We're going to Thailand.
Oh, shit.
Gonna be fucking sick. And then after this, we got a Gamescast, going to be our South of Midnight preview with Paris Lilly and Greg Miller. And then, of course, you get the Greg Way today, a whole bunch of other good stuff. But until next time, I love you all. Game Daily.